one of the interesting parts of it was that when these gravity waves come in, it changes time and space. So we like that though. It's not an it's a like, great, we would like some new time and space because the ones that we're having can use improvement. Speaking for myself.
I think that happened this week.
Yeah, a couple of times it's happened in the last month. It's pretty amazing what's going on out there. And we're looking kind of for Kimberly, who's coming up here pretty soon. And Kimberly, this is Kimberly Lilyband. She has a lovely voice and is a wonderful artist and person, helps us decorate the gallery. And she would like to open up our program tonight with an invocation of song and prayer. So I will turn this over to Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. This is lovely.
So the chant that I'm going to do is Sanskrit, and it means, the English of translation is, I bow to the presence of God within, our true and highest teacher, that lives in and around us as being, consciousness, and bliss. It is ever present and radiates peace, lighting the way to transformation. Now you can feel that. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishpapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishpapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishpapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishpapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishpapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishpapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. What a blessing. Connects us all, the song, the sound, and the sacred words. So now we will officially start. Words falling from the sky in the present moment, the good news from Sedona. And where all the adults are trained in telepathy and have doctorates in the psychic sciences, where all the children are indigo, and every yard has a personal vortex of spiritual energy that they would love to share with you. And I have to tell people a little bit about, we have an organization that's very secret here in Sedona. It's called the SIA, and it's the Sedona Intelligence Agency. And it's just like the NSA and the CIA and all the other groups that collect information, but we strictly only collect information that is of a positive, creative, uplifting, hopeful, peaceful, loving, compassionate, equanimous view. And how we do that is really a fun story. And I tell it every time we have one of these golden moment events. And what it is, in 2012, we were on our porch looking out over Thunder Mountain, and we were discussing all the events that have been showered upon us about what to expect for 2012. And so we were just going, well, let's think about it, and let's just see what happens. And there, on the other side of Thunder Mountain, it was just almost dusk. We saw this pulsing blue light behind the mountain. And then it got stronger, and then it sort of came around the end of the mountain there, and it was a blue orb. It was a blue orb like sphere. And it was very small, but as it came towards us, as we learned, because it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and soon it was like right hung over the top of our patio where we were having a discussion. And then we went like, well, I've seen blue orbs before. Don't freak out, it's okay. We feel real good about this. But then a blue flash came out of it and shot down a beam to the ground, and there appeared before us a box materialized. And we were getting a little like, oh, hey, something's really happening here. This is our 2012 answer. And it was gift wrapped. It was like an Easter gift wrap thing. And it said in English, which made us feel really safe. Because if it's in English, you're going to be safe, of course. We know this in the world. So in English, it says, just open this up and turn it on, and telepathically you'll know exactly what it's doing, and it will do all the work for you. Well, I like presents like that. And so we opened it up and we turned it on, and what it did, it transmitted immediately. It said, what's going to happen now? What is happening? We need you to turn this on every night at 9 o'clock, and you turn it off in the morning at 9 a.m. And what it's doing, it goes out and it collects all the dreams of 24.5 miles around Sedona. It's just this big sphere of dreams that it collects, and then we sift through those dreams with very special software that it's not from this planet, of course. It pulls out all the creative energies that are possible in the minds, dreaming minds of all these wonderful humans that congregate here. And then, of course, we send those out to our agents. People say, well, who are the agents? Well, I don't exaggerate. We have millions and millions and millions of agents all over the world on every continent. And of course, we're not going to tell you their names because they would be in jeopardy. But what we do tell you is their professions. They are the artists, they are the poets, they are the dancers, the musicians, the playwrights, the actors, the architects, the people who are building sacred images and symbols into our world. And so that's what we send them to, and they all get them telepathically because we're all creating. And that's the linkage that we use to communicate with each other all over the world, all the time. Interdependence Day. This show, and every July, we have the Interdependence Day celebration. And traditionally, it comes on July 5th. We're starting early this year. Because I always say, on July 4th, we become independent, which is a necessity to become aware of interdependence. If you don't know who you are, you don't know what you're connected to, because you don't know what it's connecting. So we celebrate Interdependence Day, and our wish is to continue moving into the realms of awakened activity of the present moment in unity with oneness. And this is how we do this is in our life every day. And our manifesto we have is we are not separate. We are connected wholly and completely in the cosmos, and it is our responsibility to recognize and respect the intelligence of all life, its spirit, animate and inanimate, the visible, the invisible, and the indivisible, and to learn from and to actively work to harmonize our creative activities and all of our living connections with nature, to reintegrate ourselves into the oneness with compassion. How do we do that? Well, we made a little checklist, which I thought was really fun. I do it for myself as well. So, the old forms of independence has to do with ownership of property, visible world property, personal property, intellectual property. Has to do, on the other side, interdependence is ownership of the invisible. You own your invisible connection. Division. The old world is about division. The new world, the interdependent world, is about synthesis and unity. Not separated, integrated into interconnectedness. Not judging, but spiritually surrendering to what is happening in the present moment and understanding it not through an egoistic view, but through a holistic view. And that's as deep as the interdependence thing sort of gets. From there, I move into what I like to think of is the poetry that comes from these thoughts. And so I wrote a fun poem here. It's called Interdependence Day, July 1st. Also, Canada Day. So we're connected to those Canadians up north, of course, you know. So it's all about being connected, folks. So here it goes. This is I think the longest poem I've written in a while. We are not separate. We are interdependent. We are interconnected, and we are interdependent. We are interconnected. We are the love. We are the anger. We are the peace. We are the fear. We are the compassion. We're the courage. We're the joy. We're the greed. We're the generosity. We're the delusion. We're the wisdom. We're the ignorance. We're the equanimity. We are all of these energies as they flow from every human being and are owned by all in degrees of separation. Learn to trust your heart. Learn the joy of connectivity. Learn the joy of relationship with the oneness that you have arisen from and will surely return to. Learn the language of nature's heart. Learn the language of your own heart. See the symbols of deeper understanding as they are there. Share them with your thoughts. Share them with your words, and share them with your actions. Share them with your whole life. Share them with creative enthusiasm. Interdependence, what is that? Interconnectedness, what is that? I am you. You are me. That which you see depends upon the light of the sun. That which you hear depends upon the atmospheric ocean you live in. That which you think and feel depends upon your electromagnetic super biome vehicle. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, all little tiny charges of electrochemical magnetic energy, bion energy, signaling all of your human body parts, your heart, your brain, your blood, your skin, your bones, your hair, your muscle, your teeth, your eyes, your ears, all of your inner organs, each a dynamic part of the interconnected network of connectivity served by all the proteins, molecules, mitochondria, sugars, fats, starches, and they've all been created from nature's heart, from the atoms created from the life and death of an infinite number of stars, asteroids, comets, planets, moons. Interdependence. What is that? Interconnectedness, what is that? The water, the air, the fire, the earth, the energy of the sun, and all the gifts of nature's heart. All are you, and you are all of them. This is your human birth, where the invisible, the visible, and the indivisible are always merging, and merging. The microbes, the virus, the bions, the prions, all merging, and merging. All dance together with you, and in you, in the great unfolding of the evolving novelty wave that brings us together. It brings us together into the singularity. Oh, and then guess what? It divides us, it individuates us into an infinite number of parts, each containing all the other parts. And that is the wholeness. That is the oneness of being in the great expanding universe, giving birth to an infinite number of universes, bridging the multi-dimensions of eternal time and space, no time and space. We are one and everyone. And we are no one in the great circle of life and death and life and death and life and death forever and ever. And that's how we're connected. So I've got some new poems here, but I have one old poem, not too old, it came from September. And it also related to the interdependence, and I love trees. So like, I have a big thing for trees, so it's called Listening to September's Song. 3 trillion trees singing, 3 trillion dancing trees, 3 trillion laughing trees, 8 times as many as we thought, 422 for each of you. All breathing and living with joyous heartbeats. Their breath, your breath. This is the air we share, a gift from their hearts and from nature's heart, with equanimity to all living beings. This is life. This is connectivity. This is interdependence. This is oneness. It's all real. It is a great web of life that we participate in with gratitude and thankfulness. We are blessed each and every precious moment with the great song of creation. That is nature's heart. Embrace it, grow closer to it, and share it. There is a treasure. It is yours. It is your birthright. It is the face you were before you were born. It is your hyperlink into the transcendent. It is the path of discovery. It is the path of the joyful heart. It is the path of compassion and the path of unconditional love. It is the path that we are all on. This is a gratitude poem. It's called Life. Life moving, life dancing, life spiraling, life resonant, life joy, life rhythms, life peace, life radiance, life love, life wholeness, life work, life understanding, life compassion, life force, life light, life journey, life woo, life way, life wind, life water, life sun, life stars, life planets, life galaxies, life universes, life dimensions, life domains, life worlds, life systems, life invisible, life visible, life indivisible, life treasure, life gratitude. Thanks for life. Life is a whole bunch of it, you know. It's like it can't even make a list. It just goes on forever. This one here is just about the summer coming and the lovely summer. Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. Mountain glow in the red, red, red rock. Blood of the earth, blood of the moon, blood of the sun, blood of the stars. They're all giving, and they're all caring and caring. They're all knowing, and they're all sharing and sharing. They're all doing this in gratitude. Each atom, a gift. Each molecule, a gift. Each heartbeat, a gift. Each breath, a gift. Each protein, a gift. Each biome, a gift. Each cell, a gift. A great constellation of nature's heart for all to be and all to share. I gotta go back here for a second. Connect something, if I can find it here. That's right here. In my thing. This is the nutty professor thing that I always do. Where's Jerry Lewis when you need him? Oh, but everybody who's older than enough, they'll know Jerry Lewis, right? I wanted to go back to this, one of our pages here. And it's about the, what is the one with the notes? Oh, there it is right there. Okay. It's about the microbes, which is about the interdependence as well. And like the microbe thing is just blowing off the charts. And I just was reading a little bit more in my Nature magazine in the New Yorker about the microbes. And they're the chief, I figured out, they're the chief players. They're all invisible. They are the chief players of interdependence and interconnectivity of all organic life. There are more bacteria than all the stars in the universe. 3.5 billion years ago, before we even got close to being here, this was after the planet was about 1 billion years old, there was an event called the Great Oxygenation Event. And it was created by the cyanobacteria. Otherwise, and cyanobacteria is like this thing that makes lots of photosynthesis. And in the Mayan world, they considered, there was a glyph called Yash, which was considered the blue-green center. And then, of course, we had the blue-green algae. And it is the blue-green algae. They created this event, this cyanobacteria, and it created our atmosphere of 21% oxygen. And without that happening, we would not be here. So it's another thing of interconnectedness, how we all are so interconnected with things that we don't even understand or haven't been able to see. And the latest thing, they're comparing the bacterial microbial world to our understanding of existence. And what they say is, it's a lot like dark matter. We know there's 97% of this, or 98% of this dark matter, but we can't see it. Well, we know there's 98% of the biome that we don't even know how it works, and we can't see it. We just started to see it 100 years ago, and we're getting better at it. But the idea is connectivity. I just want to enforce that idea that we are so connected with that, and then you can go the other direction from the invisible life to the invisible energy that comes to us that we are only now beginning to understand in our solar system, in our sun, and all the stars and things. We're just exploding with science. And of course, I like to explain every time about art, science, and nature, because that's what we're about. And people say, well, how do they connect? Well, I've got it down pretty simple here now. Nature, of course, is what we all came from, so it fits in there. And then art is started, in my belief, theory, is that art started when early humans went out into nature and had experiences that were so extraordinary that it woke something up in them. and they had to record it. So they went to the rock, they went to the tree, they went to anything they could to make the symbols that created the experiential symbol that was their psychological experience to pass it on to others. This is what happened. And it started out really small. And oh yes, thank you, Crystal. Here we go. There's a wonderful book that was written here recently by a French fellow, and Old Masters, Early Cultures. Every continent and culture, ancient culture in the world, created these ancient symbols, which were the beginning of science and writing and poetry and how we pass our information on. And he coined these first humans who broke out of no experience that transcended the grubbing out of life to, oh my God, I'm connected to something supernatural and transcendent. And then they would have to go and leave the symbols that connected them to that to share so that they could carry on this very important information that they received through their experiences. And often they were done through shamanic journeys, but not, those shamanic journeys entitled psychoactive plants, as well as fasting and journeying into nature and having nature overpower one to the degree that one was pushed into the world of symbols. So it's a wonderful book. You can read about it. You look up Old Masters' Early Cultures. And then what else? Well, we talked about the gravity wave. The other thing that I loved, that I learned last week, and last month, and I talked about, was they've discovered that the bees and the flowers communicate electronically with each other. They have their little hairs talk to each other through electromagnetic energy. They don't brush up and touch them. They're aware, and the plant knows the bee, and the bee knows the plant, and this frequency is being transmitted, and it's like what we do, sort of, like with all our electronic things, except they just are born with it. And we're born with it too, but it takes time to develop these things, your inner development of these things they've created on the outside of us that allow us to have all these powers that seem to be supernatural. If you were in a primitive world and you pulled up a cell phone and started talking and taking pictures, you'd be a god, of course. Anyway, on with that. We're going to move on with the poetry, because I think it's a fun. We have some fun poems here, and most of them have never been read before, which I really like. Here's this one here. If I throw them all on the floor, that doesn't help. This one's okay. We did that one. We did that one. We did this one here. Oh yeah, this one's like this. Every, this one's called every. Every stream of highly charged electromagnetic energy counts. Every gravity wave counts. Every levity wave counts. Every subatomic quark counts. Every charm counts. Every atom counts. Every molecule counts. Every protein counts. Every cell counts. Every organ counts, every body counts, every town counts, every city counts, every country counts, every state counts, every continent counts, every ocean counts, every moon counts, every planet counts, every sun counts, every solar system counts, every black hole counts, every supernova counts, every galaxy counts, every universe counts, and every dimension counts. Every time counts. Every space counts, every no time counts, every no space counts. Every heartbeat counts, every breath counts, every thought counts, and every action counts. Every golden moment counts, it all counts. We all count, and we all are interdependent and interconnected. Join the cosmos, it is you, and you are it, and that counts too. I got one more here that Crystal here really liked. But before I go on with the poem, if you haven't noted this incredible artwork over here on the table, the cookie alchemist is here. And she is the one who's created these lovely painting of cookies. And it's about, usually each cookie has a design. Today, each piece is part of the whole, which represents the interconnectedness. And it's the first time I've seen cookies that I'd like to frame. The whole thing, and not eat it. But we'll be sharing those cookies after we're done here. So, and she has cards here and makes wonderful cookies for special events. So this one here is called Echoes of Interconnectedness. Echoes of interconnectedness. Before you know it, it's going to be too late. Savor every breath you take. That drum you hear, it's your heart. It's drumming away 24 hours a day. And you know, in reality, there are only so many beats to go. And every one is a golden moment. That's what we need to remember. To share with your friends and your family and all who care. Because together we dance in harmony, and we dance in wholeness, and we dance in radiance, bringing the oneness to bear. And life's just too shared not to care. So enjoy every one of those heartbeats. It's your drum circle, and it goes all the time. Here we go. I got two more to go here. Hold on. This one's called Move the Earth. And it's about how we're all connected to move the earth, move the rock, move the stone. It's all done all over the world every day. Move the water, move the wood, move the fire. It's done all over the world every day. Move the plants, move the seeds, move the animals every day. It's done all over the world for little or no pay. Touch the earth, touch the stone, touch the rock. It's done all over the world every day. Touch the water, touch the wood, touch the fire. It's done all over the world every day. Touch the plants, touch the seeds, touch the animals. It's done all over the world every day. It's done for gratitude. It's done for joy. It's done for love. It's done for peace. It's done for compassion. It's done for the happiness that is the food of your soul, and the food of the soul of the earth and the sun and the moon and all the stars. Okay, let's see. This one's kind of. Okay, this one's a nice one here. This one has a ring to it that we thought was kind of fun. You'll probably recognize it. Off the page, over the wall, through the forest, over the mountain, into the valley, down the river, into the realms of the mind. All that is experienced externally is experienced internally. The blending of inner and outer, that's the language of the soul. That's the language of the hearts. That's the language of the symbols. That's the language of the arts. Okay, here's this one here. Here we go. This is it. I think this is it. Flying high, flying low. Oh, 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 wherever my heart wants to go. Big circle rotating and pulsing in metric motion. now emotion, in the movement of recognition. Turn on the ignition, here comes vision. Turn on the ignition, here comes fusion. On the great plane of the event horizon, dancing now in evolution, here comes the revolution. Here comes the revolution now. Now we know illusion, and we know delusion, and we know dream, and dream. Your awakening soon to come. It has just begun. Open your hearts, discipline your minds, and transformation is inevitably not far behind. Indestructible diamond matrix, heart, mind, wisdom combine. Flashing now, lightning reflected in that bubble, dancing and dancing and dancing in the living waters of that high mountain stream. Here now, gone now, all now, always now, in the heart of now, you and I, always becoming, and becoming one.
Nice.
There you go. Oh, well, we forgot something too. We have this. I have a collection of bells, bowls, instruments, and we love them because it also demonstrates some of the energy of we're all connected. Because when you ring this a gong like this, it's a lot like all your words, all your actions, all your thoughts, and all your feelings, everything you do. It creates an energy, and that energy goes out, and it goes out forever. It never stops. And where it connects is it connects with everything. It doesn't just connect with one thing, and our lives are filled with those connections that we have created and that come back to us and regenerate our experience over and over again. So I'm going to ring the bell because this one here, I said I have a bell collection. I said I will never buy another bell. And then I bought this one because it seduced me. Actuality, it never ever stops. It just keeps going. And if it doesn't go here, it goes over there. It just goes out there. In mind, what we like to say at the end every time is every one of your thoughts, every one of your feelings, every one of your actions and all your words, every day, the amount of peace and compassion and love and care, generosity and wisdom that you can emanate with compassion into the world makes a difference. The world is in a very, very delicate balance, more than we can ever imagine. We're just beginning to understand how delicate that balance is and what a gift it is, and how we should have so much gratitude and be awed every morning when we wake up and we're still here. Because not only will we die, but the world is just like, and I won't get into why I say that, but I think we all know, for many reasons, the precariousness of our ability to create and destroy and keep that in balance and harmony. And every one of your thoughts and my thoughts and all of our thoughts together allow the balance to be preserved. So don't underestimate the value of your own energy, however you manifest it, because it makes a difference. And thank you for making a difference. And let's all make a difference together. That's what we want to do. We can make a better world. It won't be too hard to improve it. Except for nature, which we can't improve. Thank you, nature. Thank you for coming. Uh-oh, the cookies are coming!
She wanted to get cookie?
No, you go ahead and let everyone partake. I'll have a crumb. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
Thank you so much.